Hi guys, welcome to Module 1. This is the first class of the fourth quarter. So this week we're going to be talking about the volume and surface area of cones and square-based pyramids. On your class assignment, when you go to your tab, you'll see this, which says your 8th grade math choice board. What that means is there's going to be a challenge problem every week, not this week, however. Then you'll click this, there'll be the link of the video you're watching right now, and then you have 3 choices of assignments. You could choose any one you want. All of these choices will be attached at the bottom of the choice board and you'll see them. So you could do the castle if you want, create your own problems, or work on the worksheets. Please read this carefully. If you cannot download and write on them, you can make a new document, put your answers on that, and email it to me. Okay, now make sure you have pencil and paper ready. Let's talk about this. Now, the 2 figures we're working on now are the cone and the square-based pyramid. The square-based pyramid has a square for the base, for the bottom, and a whole bunch of triangles that cover each side of him. The cone has the triangles here, and then the base is a circle. Now, a few formulas you don't want to forget are area, which is the length times the width, and the perimeter, which is side plus side plus side plus side. All right, so first things first, volumes of cones. Each cone that you will get on your work will be labeled. You'll have your height and you'll have your radius. Now, going back to radius and diameter, in a circle, a line that goes all the way across the circle is called your diameter, okay? The radius is a point from the center that goes to the outside of the circle. The radius is always half of whatever the diameter is. So if the diameter is 10, that radius will be 5. So I want you to remember that. The formula for the volume of the cones is V, which is volume, equals 1/3 times pi times r squared times h. Okay, don't forget pi in the calculator is 3.14. Then you have r squared. R means radius. So radius squared and then times the height. Most of the time they'll be labeled for you. If not, you know the height is coming from the top of the cone down. The radius is going to be half of the circle. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to plug in what they give you, as I did here. Go ahead and simplify 5 squared, your radius squared first, which is 25, and then you're going to multiply. If you put the 1/3 into the calculator, you just do it as 1 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 24 times 12, and that'll get you your answer. Okay, example 2 is the same thing. They're going to give you the height, and then this one here gives you the diameter, which they're saying is 12. So like I told you a second ago, don't forget, if the diameter is 12, you need the radius. So what is the radius if the diameter is 12? Okay, yes, it's 6. Okay, so then I plugged it in, 1/3 in the formula, 1/3 times pi times 6 squared times 16. I simplified 6 squared, which is 36. Remember, 6 squared means 6 times 6. And then you're just going to multiply all of that together to get 602.88. Okay? All right, let's move on to the next. Now we're going to talk about the volume of the square-based pyramid. The formula for that is V equals 1/3 B times H. B stands for base, which is the area of the base. The base is that square part. The H, of course, is the height. And don't forget, the area of a square would be length times width. That's how you'll find it. So, for example, 1, the height is 20, and the base, the side of the base is 15. So before you could solve this, you have to find the area of the base. So if you know this side's 15, then you're going to do length times width. So 15 times 15, which is 225. Okay? You have to find that first. Then you can take the formula here and plug in what you have. 1/3 times 225 times 20 gives you 1,500. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and do another example. We have this line pointed to the slant height, so that's our H, and the 20 here is our base. Okay, but we need to find the area first. So the area is 20 times 20, which is, sorry, I'm writing upside down, it's hard, 400. Now take your formula, which is volume equals 1/3 times base times height. Sorry guys, it's hard writing upside down. So I'm going to just plug everything in. 1/3 times 400 times 8. And you're going to plug it in, and you're going to go ahead, put it in your calculator. 1/3 times the 400 that we got from the area, 20 times 20, times the 8, which is the height. And the answer to this should be around, I'm running out of room, so I'm going to put it right here, 1,066 and 66 hundredths. Okay? All right. next thing, surface area. And the surface area is the covered areas. The outside is everything area. Okay. The surface of it. So if we were to open up this cone, we would be talking about that. Or we open up this pyramid and we'd have it all open, you know, open out like this flat on the table. All of that would be the surface area. Okay, the formula for the surface area of a cone is SA, which means surface area, equals pi times r times L plus pi times r squared. Okay, now I broke down what everything is. The r is the radius. Okay. The L is the slant height, and of course we know pi is 3.14. Okay, the formula for the square-based pyramid is surface area equals 1/2 times P times L plus B. So down here, the P is the perimeter of the base. Remember, if you have a square like this, or anything, square, rectangle, whatever, and you have 4, 4, 4, 4, the perimeter is adding all of those together. Okay. The L is the slant height, and B is the area. Remember, area is length times width, okay? So perimeter is side plus side plus side plus side, and area is length times width. Okay, now let's go ahead and work out these two problems I have here. One's on the surface area of the cone. One is on the surface area of the square-based pyramid. So let's look at what we have first. Okay, we have 9, and that's going to our slant height, and then we have 12 is our diameter. Okay, now let's write our formula down again for the cone. Its surface area equals pi times r times L plus pi times r squared. Okay, so let's go. Pi times the radius. Now, if the diameter is 12, how much is the radius? 6. Good. Okay, so you got pi times the radius, which is 6, times the L, which is the height, which is 9, plus pi radius squared. So again, the radius is 6 squared. Now, if you're probably wondering why all of this is together, because you got to think about if you opened up this pie, it's called a net. If we were to open up this, cone, we would have a piece of the cone which would unravel, and then you'll have that circle part, okay? And that's why you have the two parts, that you're going to find the area, the surface of each part, and we're going to add it together, okay? So you're going to put all this into your calculator. As it is fine. And you're going to get, let's see, for this part, I think this is 169, and let's see here. Okay, I'm going to add this together. I believe it's about 282 and 60 hundredths. So that should be your answer for this one. Okay, now we're going to find the square surface area of the square-based pyramid. Don't forget your formula and write it down. If you could go back to the video, or if you took good notes, you should already have this written down, and that would be very helpful. You wouldn't have to keep going back and forth to this video. Okay, now, so let's look at it. The first thing, we got 1/2. That stays like that. The P, perimeter of the base. Okay, this base is 3. So the perimeter for the base is going to be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, which equals 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we're going to put a little parenthesis. Then it's times the height, the slant height, which is 5. Okay, we're going to put another parenthesis. Plus the B. The B is the base, but it's the area of the base. Remember, I told you the area of the base. So the base is 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so put all that into your calculator, and I believe it comes up to, I don't know if I can work this out. That's what, 60, 30, it looks like it's about 39. I think I wrote down. I wonder if I'm missing something here, but okay. Okay, so back to the perimeter is 12. You have 4 sides. 12 times 5. I'm doing this in my head, guys. I'm sorry. So you got 1/2 times 60 plus 9. So that's 30 plus 9. So it should be 39. Okay? So please take your time on this. If you have any questions or need me, you can email me, or I should be available through the little Google Hangouts app thing on the Google Classroom. If you need me, you can email me anytime, Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 2. I will be online at those times. Please take your time to do this, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye.